Hey guys, how you doing? My name's ZT Dubs.
And I'm Evil Squirrel, and welcome to Top Deck Wins, a stream and podcast about Hearthstone
That's right, and winning off the
and
top of the
winning.
deck.
Yep, you don't need to be good at the game. You just need to make sure that the card that comes off the top is going to do 5 points of damage to your opponent's face.
That's right. So we'll start off with our week in Hearthstone. I guess I'll start. Pretty much, they have the you can share your quest with your friends and get credit for it. So I don't know about you, but my wife always hoards her quests, so it's my favorite time when they do this because then she can just get them all done and stop having me do them. So it's nice.
And what decks have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Reno a little bit, but mainly the aggro decks. Just trying to push up rank, sitting at 8 right now. Because I feel like if you're not playing aggro, you're not getting anywhere because the aggro decks will just kill you.
That is for sure. I can vouch for that. Are you playing standard this month, or are you doing
Yeah,
doing
I
one?
I just did wild that one time, just because everyone on Twitch kept telling me to try and get rank 1 wild, so I did it.
Yeah,
I'm done
and
with
that was
that.
an awesome feat. That was an awesome run. So,
I don't
congrats
know.
again on that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again. It's too stressful.
Well, I had a good week at playing my favorite deck, Jade Druid. It is absolutely a tier three deck, and I rely on a lot of top decks to help me win. I played quite a lot as I'm trying to get my 500 win. I'm at about 475 now, so
Yeah,
I
it's
should
coming
have it by
close.
the end of next week. And it's going to be the deck that we showcase at the end of the show. So I'll talk more about it then. But it's a lot of fun to play. It's just pretty tough to get those wins when you're playing against all the shaman
Yeah.
and dwarves on the ladder.
I mean, if you're just trying to grind the wins, you should try wild. I mean, every deck's different until you get to about 5, and then it's just pirate warrior. But I feel like from 25 to 15, it's about random decks, which I feel like Jade Druid is pretty good against random decks.
Yeah, I've really been trying to focus on druid because I really feel like I want to master druid.
No, that's understandable.
I feel like for me, learning the mechanics inside and out of a class is really important, especially when you want to play against them. And Druid was a class that before J Druid, I only had like 150 wins, 200 wins, with, and I really wanted to focus on. I think Rogue will be next,
That's what
um,
I'm doing right now.
but but for now, I'm really just focusing on J Druid, and I'll get that 500, and I'll have my Golden Druid
Yeah.
soon.
Golden Druid with Golden deck, that'll look pretty fun. That'd be
Yeah.
good. All right, well, I guess with this, we'll just go straight into the news, which is very lacking lately. But if you want to go ahead and you can start about the comments Binbrod made recently about, I guess, just where we're at and how they balance everything. Do
Sure.
you have
Well,
any statements for that?
yeah, Ben, as we discussed, has put up a blue post on the official forums and really dove deep into what is the meta, um, and the definitions that they as Team Five have, what for the meta and for balance and for all of the different terminology they have. And while it was a good thought of communication, there was a lot of, I don't know, crap thrown into that post because
I don't know. I have one thing when we're done. I gotta talk about this because
one of
people are
one
going
of the
crazy.
one of the big things that he's really said is just, yes, we know there's a lot of shaman, but it's not as bad as it could be. And you can build, Fibonacci built the deck, and he was doing great against it,
Yeah.
so
So
I
yeah,
can't.
he said, "Shut up and play control." That's what he said. He's like, "Quit whining. Just play control warrior. If you can't afford the deck, then you're gonna lose." So it's pretty. I felt like that's what he said.
And
I
it's
don't know.
not even can't afford the deck, but Fibonacci is not only one of the best ladder players in the world, but he's like the godfather of the control warrior.
Yeah, I don't know. I
So
I feel like though, like control warrior average is about like 15,000 dust. And that's really hard for like, newer players. It took me a long time to get enough to build control warrior. I mean, I know control warrior is my favorite deck. That's the deck I'll always go to. But
yeah,
it took me like 6 months of just trying to build control warrior to get there. So I feel like in 6 months, Jade Shaman isn't even going to be a thing. How it is now, at least. So I don't know. I feel like that was just, I don't know. It's true. Controller does beat Shaman, but a lot of people are complaining now are the newer players because like the pro players and the top legends, they don't care. They're good enough to just beat it anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But some of the other interesting tidbits that he was mentioning was that the pirate package, which just consists of 2 cards, it's only small time Buccaneer and patches. That pirate package is played in 50% of all decks rank 5 and above.
That is pretty
And
crazy.
that is crazy. So I think he said something about he also talked about the amount of shaman, and he said that at the end of last season, 30% of the Legend Lab was shaman, and
It's
that
ridiculous.
that overall only 17% are shaman. But I don't know where he's getting those numbers from, because like whether he's
Yeah.
counting rank 25 when at new players in there or whatnot. Because when you're on the ladder, it's a lot more than one out of
I feel
one out of
like
every 8 games that you're playing a
I
shaman.
don't know. I feel like at least two out of 10 games, at least 3 to 6 of those games are a shaman.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe for next week, I'll actually do a poll or a tally, and I'll actually have some hard evidence for that. My deck tracker's not up right now, so I can't look at it. But it's I don't know. It makes you think though when you play against shaman, because you have to always think, all right, if I do this, can they just fill the board back up, or if I do this, can they just hex it, or so it makes you think.
They can always fill the board back up, and they can always hex it, and they can always
Mm-hmm.
lightning storm it, and they can always pull out a portal and do AOE to everything,
And now
because
they
that's
can devolve
what they
it.
do.
That's the worst. I'm like, all right, I'll play some rogue, and I'm like, okay, I set up lethal next turn I win. They're like devolve. I'm like, oh,
You know what class is broken when the best weapon in the game, Doomhammer, they don't even include in their deck because they have cheaper, better weapons.
yeah. Actually, I know we're probably ranting now by now about shaman, but the
Yeah,
new shaman decks don't even run totem golem or so the tunnel trog. They're not even in
yeah,
the deck. They're too slow, and that's when it's a problem.
yeah, and that's scary because everyone's looking forward to when Tunnel Trog and Totem Golem rotate out, and
Well, we're
this
here.
this deck doesn't even need it.
Yeah.
Uh, so the Shaman ain't going anywhere.
Nope. They're here to stay.
I'm sure. So that was the most of the posts that he put up, and it's as usual. There was a lot of shit posting about it, and Reddit. I give them credit for trying to have more communication, and some of the communication they put out is good, and the fact that they said that they can't update the client without giving a full patch, and they're looking into that is good news, so that at least they could push things faster and
Mm-hmm.
quicker without having to download 2 gigs of data. But the fact that they're making us wait until the end of the month to get any balance changes is ridiculous. That they make
Yeah.
you waiting a whole extra month when they know shit's broken.
I feel like if they did a 2 week, update every 2 weeks, even if it's small stuff, they have any changes, just do them then. 2 weeks is enough time. And if they, I heard someone else say this too. If they mess up, who cares? You deal with it for 2 weeks and then it's fixed again,
Yeah,
instead of waiting months and months. Because now, if you wait months, if they implement a change and they mess up, you're stuck with it for months and you lose players. But if it's just for like a week or two, okay, sure. Like I don't know. Two
no,
weeks to me isn't that big of a deal.
I absolutely agree on weekly patches, or bi-weekly patches. I mean, almost every one of their other games has a maintenance window on Tuesdays, and they will patch or do back-end work. And everyone can find Wi-Fi once a week and download the patch, so it's not like they need to complain about mobile data or anything.
Yeah.
So that's the most of the news. As far as I know. Do you have anything else that you have seen it coming up in the news?
I mean, not really. Nothing I can really think of.
It's been a pretty quiet,
Newsworthy
been a
wise.
pretty quiet week. We're just stuck in this stalemata and waiting for the balance change to come out. And probably early next month we're going to start getting teasers for. Oh, well, I guess the leak
I
that came
guess
out.
that is news. Yeah, I mean that was like last
The
week,
leak.
but
So for anyone listening, there was a supposed leak that came out, which is similar to a leak that came out a couple of sets ago, and it was a voice actress, and she updated her resume, and someone found it, and she's a voice actress who's done a lot of work for Blizzard in the past, so this is not just a nobody. And she updated it to say that she did some voice work for Hearthstone, The
Mm-hmm.
Secrets of Ngoro, and she did four, different ones. They were like dinosaur, brontosaurus, pterodactyl, um, and
So,
which goes along with Ungoro.
well, another thing, I don't know if you played Warcraft or like familiar with the lore, that actually was like the, I don't know how to describe it, like where they did tests, like the Titans, when they were crafting Azeroth. That's their testing ground. That's why there's all these weird things there. They were like, oh, maybe we should put this in Azeroth. And, they would make it there and then just let it loose. So like there could be ties to the Titans. There's a lot of fun, vanilla quests that were done in Ngoro. I remember playing forever ago. So I mean, there's a lot of tiny things that they can give nod to the original vanilla WoW players and other stuff too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
I spent a lot of time in Ungoro Crater, and
more time than I
I
wanted
know that
to.
place inside and out. I also know there's that giant dinosaur that will sneak up behind you somehow
You're
and
just
stomp
dead.
you
Yeah.
in one piece. So I hope he makes a an appearance in Hearthstone. But that would be if that's true and it is what it is. I'd be pretty excited. I think that's a pretty cool
Well,
um,
I went to
concept.
her page. I mean, it's really there. Like they weren't kidding. It's not like something that's photoshopped. It's really on her resume. I mean, it very well could be. You know, because they make like 2 or 3 sets at a time, maybe even four. So this could be like 2 or 3 sets from now on there too. So I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be there for no reason.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
Disguised
it
Toast made a video too about it, and he
yeah,
like went
you know,
through all the
the
proof.
Ungoro domain was taken by
Mm-hmm.
GoDaddy at the same time as the other domains. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing else I could think of for Ngoro to talk about. I mean, until they get closer to
Sure,
the other
and
stuff.
you gotta expect the beginning of April, beginning of March,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna start talking about it, and then they'll drip feed it through the whole month.
So the thing is, do you think it's going to be? I mean, I'm almost positive it's going to be an expansion because, especially with the rotation coming. But do you think this could possibly be an adventure? I mean, there's a
Uh,
lot of debate online. People are, half people are saying it's adventure, half people are saying it's expansion. I think it'd be really. I mean, I feel like something like Ngoro could be explored to the point of an expansion, but then again, technically, in Warcraft, it is a small area ish. I mean, smaller than most big zones. So it could be an adventure too. I don't know.
I just don't know what kind of bosses they would have for an adventure.
I guess that's
Um,
true.
it seems like more of an expansion to me.
I don't know. I guess there's one other thing I talk about. That is a lot of beasts there, so I feel like that would push Beast Druid and Beast Hunter. Hunter maybe could finally stop being the worst class.
Well, Hunter, you gotta say, Hunter's only been at the bottom for this one expansion because Secret Hunter was doing fantastic until this
Mm-hmm.
last expansion came out. So it's not like they were Priest was stuck at the bottom for a year and a half. Um,
Yeah, and the funny thing is, Priest isn't even really that good. I mean, I guess over here we'll talk about it in a second. But I mean, they are tier 2, but
yeah.
my win rate against Priest is phenomenal.
So I have one question for you before we move on because I saw this question posted on a forum and it was actually in the inn on Facebook. And someone said, "What card are you looking most forward to rotating out of standard?" So I'm curious what your answer
I
is.
will say this 10 times out of 10. Nothing will change my mind ever, and that is Reno Jackson.
Oh yeah, why?
It's not even because of the Agromirs. I like the concept of Highlander, but when you're playing a deck that, especially like control-ish decks, that you're trying to get a big win, like you get a big win condition, except with the exception of Control Warrior. You play your win condition, you get down to set up lethal, and then they play Reno or something like that. then you're just like you threw all your resources out there. I mean, it's a good card, but I feel like it's something that I don't know. Pretty some games if they get on turn 6, you're guaranteed to lose.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And I feel like one card, winning or losing the game for you. I don't know. I understand that Highlander decks take more skill because you're having only one of each card, but I don't like the fact that you win if you draw the card at the right time, or you lose if you don't draw it. I
Yeah,
just don't.
sure, makes sense. For me, it is, without a doubt, just a card True Heart.
That card is kind of annoying. Yeah.
I am not a fan of uh, 4 health and 4 armor every turn. And it's not so
Yeah.
bad with priest. It's really not. But control warrior can be played without gaining all that armor, and it's
Yep.
just ridiculous.
I was actually in a tournament 3 days ago, and it came down to 1-1. I had 2 wins. He had 2 wins, and I was playing freeze. No, not freeze mage. I was playing was it Reno mage, and he played control warrior, and he was literally just hero powering and passing for maybe 15 turns.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Reno mage, so I have some big threats, and that's it. If you kill the threats, that's it. I can't do anything.
Yep.
So literally, it was just me. He playing some cards, hero powering him in the face for 1. He was gaining 4 life, and it went to fatigue. And yeah, he just. I think
If just
it's a little silly.
I think if Justicar was balanced, where every class found benefit in Justicar, and to the point where they would want to include her, I wouldn't mind her as much.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's just warrior and priest that use her because that's no one else really could care less about her here, extra hero power, then
I don't know.
sometimes paladin, I guess.
I feel like
But
she's as balanced as she could be without making the other classes broken. I mean, can you imagine, Hunter dealing 4 damage to the face, Mage dealing like 3 damage because she has 2 damage. So 3 damage anywhere you want every turn. That's pretty powerful. Or Paladin. I think Paladin's pretty good. Summoning 2, any more than that, it's pretty ridiculous. Warlock, I don't know, maybe draw 2 cards. That's good and bad. You need to fatigue yourself really quick, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's as balanced as it could be without making absolutely broken.
yeah, okay, all right. So let's move on.
All right, so we will go to the meta right now for standard, and it looks like absolutely nothing has changed. I think maybe Dragon Priest came out of tier 3, went up to tier 2. Control Warrior, yeah, Control Warrior was tier 2 as well. Actually, Miracle Rogue was tier 1 last week. Now it's tier 2. Um, Looks like, okay, yeah, Miracle Rogue and Reno Lock switched places. Yeah, Aggro Shaman is still tier 1. Reno Mage is tier 2, number 2 for tier 1. And then third is Jade Midrange Shaman, and then Pirate Warrior and then Reno Lock.
That Jade mid-range shaman is such a pain to beat.
Oh yeah, that's actually I've been testing that deck a lot. It's actually really fun. It's a pain in the butt, but it's fun to play.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's it
it
it, it,
focuses a
it
lot on the Jade mechanic, which I think is good. It's refreshing playing Jade mechanic rather than. I mean, of course it's still Shaman, but it's cool getting all those big Jades out instead of playing a whole bunch of just stuff. I guess.
yeah, no, it's definitely a non-cancer version of shaman as far as it not being aggro and just smashing your face, or not just being a total dick deck. There's no trogs, there's no total, um, which is amazing. There's no pirates, so
Says.
it's going to be the shaman deck that survives the nerfs and survives the next expansion, and
Yep.
so it's something to look out for, and hopefully someone comes up with a good counter because my win rate with it using Jade Druid is pretty terrible, and supposedly it's supposed to be a good matchup, but I'm having a hard time piloting it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
it's whoever gets the Jades out first.
yeah,
Because when it comes down to a race, if you're having 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7s, and you're just getting 3, 3s and 4, 4s, either way, for either
yep.
person, yeah, it's.
Same thing with the mirror for that. Yep.
So actually, you mentioned nerfs, and it actually brought something to my mind. There's a lot of discussion of them. People are saying that they think that they might just make Buccaneer a road card only. if they did that, how do you think that would shake up the meta? Not nerf it at all. Just make it a rogue card.
Well, I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I mean, Rogue's really strong with it, um, and they have a decent one. And I thought that, because everyone was saying the big problem with Miracle Rogue was that they didn't have an early game to fight. But I really thought that with Swashbuckler and with Undercity Huckster, they really were starting to establish a very good early game.
Eh, I don't know. I feel like
So
Huckster isn't really that good. It's not bad, but impactful early drop. I don't think it's. If you get a really good card off of it, sure. But Swashbuckler is good. I think like just straight up play.
Swashbuckler is very, very good.
But Huckster, I don't know. I feel like it needed something. I don't know. It needed a small time Buccaneer. That's exactly what it needed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. That'd be interesting. Rogue is definitely a very, very hard matchup right now for a lot of classes that don't have anything to do after the conceal.
Mm-hmm.
So, the people might be teching in Tankmaster Overspark pretty soon if Rogue takes a big chunk of the meta soon.
I don't know. It's so good. I've been playing Rogue a lot, and it's ridiculous how quickly the questing adventure gets out of hand. Which is funny too because before Gadget's in, they didn't even want to play questing adventure. They said it was a bad card. But with the new coin, it just got people test it out. And it's really good. It's crazy, I think.
Actually, there was a version of Miracle Rogue that was before Gadget's End that was using one questing, I think, and that was Amnesiac that put that into the Miracle Rogue, and it worked really well. But having two with this coin with the extra coins now is just crazy sauce.
It's ridiculous. I like it. I think it was a great addition.
Yeah. Yep. I ran into quite a few double gore heralds. It's a nasty deck when piloted right. It's not a deck that just anyone can play. You really have to know how to do it. You need to know really, good timing on your dirty rats, when to use your AOE. That sleeping with the fishes card is crazy. When you use that, when you use like a whirlwind or any sort of AOE kind of effect like that, and sleep with the fishes. I mean, holy shit! I was not expecting the damage and the impact that card makes. I'm seeing it everywhere whenever I'm playing a control board. Yeah, it's really, really good. A very underestimated card that is making an appearance now. All right, so let's talk a little bit of tournament news here.
All right.
I haven't been keeping too much in the scene, but the Trinity series has been going on, and I was actually able to watch some the other day, and it was actually a really amazing match I watched. I watched it was Alliance versus Virtus Pro,
Yeah, that was a good.
and the people that play those decks are all for anyone who doesn't know, they're all professionals on teams, and this is a team series. And Virtus Pro came out to a 4-0 start You have to win
Crazy.
6 games, and they have 4-0 with their Reno Mage, and they looked like they were going to lock it up.
They
And
pulled
then
a
Alliance came back and won 6 straight games with their Reno lock.
they pulled an Atlanta
It was
Falcons.
just yeah, it was yeah, they were the Falcons
Yeah.
of the day. But watching Alliance talk and pilot that Reno lock was like nothing I've ever seen before. It's
Yeah.
really cool to hear and see the players talk and collaborate at a professional level, um, and really make plays that I would never think of.
Yeah. And then of course G2 still top. You know, as expected. I mean, they have life coach RDU and Tice on the team. That's just, in my opinion, three of the best players in the game right now. All
Absolutely.
discussing, playing at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't heard of it, please go do yourself a favor. Check out the Trinity series, and watch it. It's on ESL_Hearthstone. They're the ones who broadcast it on Twitch,
Yeah,
and
they have all the videos still up. So how
yeah,
Twitch
they have
saves the videos, so you can just watch the whole series if you want. It's weekly.
all the VODs are available. Do yourself a favor and go watch
Oh,
them because
definitely.
it's you're watching and hearing professionals play. That's the nice thing I really like because when you watch a tournament, it's still a lot of fun to watch with commentators to kind of talking about it. But it's really cool when you can actually hear the people during the tournament
Oh yeah,
discussing and thinking about their moves.
yeah. Because I mean, like I even heard a while ago, I heard some plays that they made, and I was like, oh, never thought of it that way. And I tried
Yeah,
it, and it's like, just if you just listen and actually just learn, you learn a lot watching the pros play like that.
yeah. So that's what's going on. And then the only other thing that there's probably other stuff. But unfortunately, I haven't been keeping too much up on the tournament scene this week. But coming up, at the end of next month will be the Winter Championships, uh,
The
and
Bahamas,
in the Bahamas. So
lucky
if you
people.
want a nice free trip to the Bahamas, go ahead and get rank 1 legend on the ladder for the next 2 months, and you might be able to go.
Yeah, I think it was like 15 to 21 points is what's needed in that
Yeah.
range to qualify. I think you have to go to prelims first, don't you?
Yep.
You have to qualify prelims. Prelims are actually this weekend, tomorrow for EU, and then next Saturday for American. And then I think was it the top four or something like that.
It's the top four from each region. So they're doing it differently this year. So each region will be represented at each championship. So there'll be 16 players
I think that's cool.
and four from each region. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to the Tavern Brawl for this week. And I guess I'll be covering that today. So it is the Battle of Tul Barad. And I like this one a lot. It's actually pretty fun. You play a minion and you get a spell the same cost, but it's free. So I played some really nasty things doing this. Like I played Doctor Boom, and then I got the Greater Arcane Missiles. So and his board was empty, and I had something with spell damage too. So I played it, Doctor Boom, shot it for free, hit him for was it 12, and then passed, and then he conceded. Because I mean, it's really you have Doctor Boom and you just hit him in the face for 12. It's pretty good. It's just stuff like my wife was playing earlier, and she was guaranteed to lose, and she played something, and she just got the perfect answer, and it won another game. And I was just it's you don't know what to expect. Every turn's a mystery with this one.
Yeah, and I like those. The it puts a nice twist on the game and
Oh yeah.
allows you to play things differently. I mean, some of the ones like Randomonium that we've played 100 times, blah. But this one was a nice change, and I really like it. And they've been doing really good. This is the third time that they've actually had this Tavern Brawl. When I looked it up,
I can't complain
uh,
though. I've had fun
and
every time.
yeah, and I enjoy it. So they've had some really good Tavern Brawls lately.
Yeah,
They've been doing pretty
I
well.
think we've said
So
that every single episode. We're like, man, this has been they've been doing good. So
they have,
keep it up,
because
Blizzard. Keep it up. You're making us happy.
yeah, the Tavern Brawls are something that at least keeps variety in the game, and
Hmm.
something to look forward to. I know on Wednesday, I take my lunch break at noon, And I go down, I grab my lunch, and the first thing I do is check the tavern brawl and see what it
Yep.
is, and go get my pack or my card
Um,
back. So
I'm looking forward to the next. Is it the Heroic Tavern Brawl? I thought it was fun.
yes,
I had a pretty decent win. I got up to 9, so I didn't get
that's
the
pretty
elusive
good.
12. But I was very good at mid range shaman mirrors. So yeah, I did all right. I did about three
I'd
times.
like I'd like a shot to win some golden legendaries. That wouldn't be too shabby.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I was like, I got to 9 and I had one loss, 9 wins, and I was like, all right, here we go, getting to 12, and then I lost 2 straight. So it was, yeah,
But what else? Some quick, just a quick tangent now. Uh, a little piece of news that I forgot to mention was that they're looking at arena balance also.
oh yeah.
They had mentioned that they're looking at changing the percentage of how often spells appear, as well as also going standard. They said up to a 20% spell increase, and I found that very interesting.
So Ixar mentioned this too. If I think it's a mistake to do 20% and standard, because think about it, like if you get a whole bunch of Jade Lightnings or a whole bunch of Firelance portals, that's kind of, I don't know. I feel like either make it standard and then make it maybe like 5% more. Because if they do it both, they're taking all the Wild has all the bad spells. I think all the standard spells are really good,
Yeah,
especially Mage. Like every spell that Mage has in standard for Arena is pretty. I mean, not all, but like,
yeah.
at least a good 70% are really
Well,
good.
yeah. Well, that's why like what you said before, they should be having patches more often so that they can
Mm-hmm.
experiment and then change stuff around if it doesn't quite work.
Oh, definitely. All right. Well, so we'll move on to the card of the week,
Okay,
and
so
this one was fun. Very
this was
fun.
a fun card of the week. Every week here on Top Deck Wins, we're going to be doing a card of the week. We're going to try to do something a little fun and different, and we'd love for you to email us. The email address is up on the screen, and for those listening, it's Top Deck Wins
It's
with
right
a Z
here. See how big it is?
at gmail.com. That's Top Deck Wins with a Z at gmail.com. And
Please.
if you want to have any questions or comments, or you want to suggest a card of the week, please email us, and we will definitely get back to you and look forward to having some fun.
Yes, and we like emails. We need them.
Yeah, we'll be happy to read your email on the air and answer your questions or use your card as the card of the week. So we'll see what happens. But for this week, we chose the Scaled Nightmare, a dragon that not many people that when first was previewed, everyone thought, "Whoa, this is going to be some crazy stuff," but it turned out to fizzle out a little bit, and so we thought we'd give it a shot. So how did you incorporate it into your
So
deck?
I played Rogue with it, which sounds a little weird, but when you play it, and then I actually use Lane's Carrier too, give it stuff +2 attack. So like at one point I played it, and then I played Lance Carrier and double Cold Blood, and then I coined Concealed, and I just was like, kill it or you lose. How much is that? It's 10, so it's 24 8 the next
Wow.
turn. And yeah, it was fun. I actually did that a couple times. It was not necessarily the Lance Carrier, but double Cold Blood Conceal. And it's really hard. It's like a, not, I don't say it's a better Edwin, but a lot less cards are involved when you do that than with Edwin.
Yeah. Yeah, it can definitely be fun, especially with those effects. I just thought I would put it into a Dragon Priest deck and just kind of see how it fit in. And it actually fit in pretty nicely when Dragon Priest gets rolling, and you can kind of start to, get the board. It's very hard to take the board back from a Dragon Priest, especially
Oh
with
yeah,
the way that Dragon Priest, you know, has AOE and things that will blow everything away except
they
Dragon.
have so much health too. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so when you're dropping on 5 your operative, and then they're using like a fireball to kill that, and then on 6, you have something, and then you can play your Scaled Nightmare. They're already out of a lot of resources, and you find that it sticks around a lot more than you'd think it would. and
Yeah.
you usually can get that 4 hit in, no problem. And then that 8 hit. Um, I, I played with it a little bit, and I tried to do a little bit more combo where I would double its health and make its attack equal to its health and see if I could get some combos off like that. But it never wound up working real well. So, but
I
it's
mean, did
fun.
you? What's the highest you got it to?
Got it to 16 once.
Okay, yeah, 24 was me, but that was just because double cold blood conceal. But
Yeah.
it never got higher because usually that by then I had lethal or they would concede or something like that.
I was playing against a shaman when I got it, and he had like nothing on the board, but he kept rolling the taunt totem.
Ah, that sucks.
So I was using this dragon to just slam its face into a 2 taunt totem over and over and over again.
That's the worst.
And then finally he rolled like spell power and I was able to get it through. So it was a lot of fun. And so please, if you have suggestions or ideas, leave it in Twitch chat or let us know at the email address, and we will definitely try to do something fun.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's move on to the deck of the week, which this week you have. So take it away.
Yes. So the deck of the week is Jade Druid. It is the deck that I've been playing exclusively on the standard ladder this month and for most of last month. And it's really, really fun to play. The Jade mechanic, I think, is probably the most fun of all the mechanics that was introduced in the Gadgetzan expansion. Um, and it doesn't truly rely on your opening mulligan. There's Druid has all the versatility with its different cards to hold off and then start building Jades. But really the trick to the deck is to try to make your Jade Druid, your Jade Golems, I'm sorry, come out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I've tried different variants of it, and tried to do some teching on the ladder, and I found that an ooze is definitely very valuable in the deck right now. Um,
What would you take out for the use?
um, so I took out one. I only played with one wild growth,
Okay.
um, and I took out one Jade Spirit, um, and so I have the auctioneer. I have the auctioneer, Bran, and the ooze in there.
Okay.
And I find that they're all really, really good. The the auctioneer, when you get a good auctioneer turn off, I mean, people will just insta concede sometimes just
Yeah.
because they know they're just not coming back.
Especially with Fandral out.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
yeah. Toward the end of the game, you get Fandral out, and then you get your auctioneer, and
Infinite damage.
you're getting infinite guys. It's just ridiculous. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun to play. It's definitely not a tier 1 deck. You really have to have a good, strong start to contend with Shaman. I find that I can hold about a 50% win rate against Pirate Warriors because the whole trick is to survive, and by turn 6 or 5, even you're putting out taunt after taunt after
Oh yeah.
taunt after taunt, and they just can't get through it.
I mean, if you can't kill them, you're playing Power Way by turn 5. You lose any game. I feel like.
Exactly. So I do
It's
pretty
good.
decent against Pirate Warrior, but so you definitely mulligan for your Living Roots and for anything early game that can kind of hold off until you can get to those taunts.
So
Shaman's a whole different story. But
when
anything else, um, the Dragon Priest is a very tough matchup, but Reno Priest is a good matchup. Reno Mage, Reno Warlock, anything very control, I would say you have the advantage over
yeah.
because the control decks are really designed to take out a limited number of threats. And when you have unlimited number of threats, there's just nothing that they can do.
So on turn 1, you have Jade Idol. Do you shuffle it or do you make a golem?
Always make a goal on turn 1
That's good. Yeah.
with your yeah. Always make an item because you don't want to dilute your deck. Um,
I agree.
However, I've been in situations where I've played my idol turn 1, and then turn 4 or turn 5 I Fandral, and then I have the other idol. So I'll play it and then shuffle in at that point. Um, and I usually find that that's not a problem. But
I
the
mean, usually
first
by
goal,
then you have like Nourish or something like that, anyway. So
exactly when you get Nourishes, and you're, a really good card is to get a Jade Idol from a Nourish
oh yeah.
because the Jade Idols go well as just something to fill mana. Like if you have 6 mana crystals and you have something to play for 5, like your Druid of the Claw, instead of
Hmm.
wasting a mana crystal, you have that Jade Idol,
Yeah.
and it just builds up your golems faster and faster and faster. So it's a real fun deck. If you're interested, I have the link that we'll put in the show notes, or you can just go to Hearthstone and search for Colento's Jade Druid, and go and have some fun. And let me know what you think. Send an email in and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'll have to try it out. I haven't played J. Drew in a while, since like
Yeah,
almost release of Gajazan.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, I mean, do you have any, I guess, last minute comments you want to get out before we wrap things up?
Yeah,
Anything you want to say?
I just thank you again, Dubs, for another great show. I look forward to talking about Hearthstone every week, and
That's fun.
we're missing Bobson this week.
Oh, we forgot to say that. Yeah, we
He's
have a
traveling
third.
around Europe. He's our European partner on the show, so he
Every
will be
good show
back.
needs a European partner, so we got one.
So yeah, he'll be back next week to add his insight and you know speak with his silly accent and make everyone laugh. So we miss you, Bobson, and we're looking forward to hanging out with you next week. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's all I had to say too. Be sure to come back next week to see our third member. He will not be a guest. He's our third member. So yeah. So thanks for checking us out, guys. And like you said, email us at topdeckwins@gmail.com with any questions or I guess silly memes, anything you want to share with us. We're more than happy to talk about it or share it with the community. So yeah. So we will see you guys next week then.
All right, take care.